In the quiet hours, when the world sleeps, a silent predator often takes hold. Not a creature of the night, but a pervasive, relentless force. Chronic stress. It reshapes our physiology, degrades our sleep, and corrodes our very essence. Many struggle to understand its grip, experiencing the fatigue, the anxiety, the unending pressure. But what if the true mechanisms of its destruction and a profound method to dismantle it were uncovered decades ago? What if that knowledge was then obscured? Our journey begins in 1987, a year of quiet innovation, often overshadowed by geopolitical tensions. Yet, within a discreet research facility, a project of immense physiological significance was underway. Codenamed NSR-47, its mission was singular: to comprehensively map the human body's response to chronic stress and, crucially, to identify a direct means of systemic re-regulation. The researchers, working under conditions of extreme discretion, believed they were on the precipice of a fundamental breakthrough. Their findings, meticulously documented in faded files and grainy film, pointed not to symptomatic relief, but to a core recalibration. These are the declassified records of Project NSR-47, a testament to knowledge that was, for decades, confined to the shadows. It is time to illuminate what they found.
The NSR-47 team quickly identified the central player in chronic stress, the hormone cortisol. Continuously elevated, cortisol becomes a wrecking ball, disrupting sleep cycles, increasing visceral fat, and suppressing the immune system. But the project's deeper insight lay in the intricate dance of the autonomic nervous system, specifically the imbalance between its sympathetic and parasympathetic branches. The sympathetic, our fight-or-flight response, becomes perpetually engaged. Its counterpart, the parasympathetic, responsible for rest and digest, is suppressed. Central to this critical balance is the vagus nerve. Originating in the brainstem and extending throughout the body, the vagus nerve is the primary conduit for parasympathetic activity. The NSR-47 researchers understood that a low vagal tone, a diminished capacity of the vagus nerve to modulate the heart and other organs, was a hallmark of chronic stress. They measured this through heart rate variability, or HRV. A healthy HRV indicates a robust vagus nerve, capable of rapid adaptation to stress. Conversely, a low HRV signifies a system locked in sympathetic overdrive, exhausted and rigid. This sustained sympathetic dominance leads to systemic inflammation, a silent fire that fuels countless chronic diseases. The NSR-47 data showed a clear pathway. Stress triggers sustained cortisol release, which dampens vagal tone, reduces HRV, and incites inflammation. This vicious cycle explains the chronic fatigue, the persistent anxiety, the disrupted sleep, and the overall physiological breakdown experienced by millions. It was a comprehensive model of destruction, meticulously cataloged by a team who saw not just symptoms, but a fundamental system failure, and they believed they had found a way to reverse it.
The NSR-47 team didn't just theorize, they gathered compelling evidence. Their early studies, outlined in Declassified Document 7-Alpha-9, involved a cohort of individuals exhibiting classic symptoms of chronic stress, persistent insomnia, anxiety, and unexplained fatigue. Baseline measurements revealed alarming patterns. Average resting cortisol levels were consistently elevated, far exceeding the healthy range. Heart rate variability measurements showed a marked reduction, indicative of severely impaired vagal tone. These subjects were living in a constant state of physiological alarm, their bodies unable to return to equilibrium. Dr. Anya Sharma, the lead physiologist on NSR-47, detailed how these markers correlated precisely with the severity of reported symptoms. Her internal memos, now part of the public record, spoke of a systemic physiological collapse that was far more widespread than previously acknowledged. Dr. Sharma's work underscored the profound impact of chronic stress, not merely as a psychological burden, but as a verifiable physical disease. Her insistence on a non-pharmacological, systemic solution, however, put her at odds with certain prevailing interests. Soon after these initial findings, details surrounding Project NSR-47 began to blur. Dr. Sharma herself faded from public record, her groundbreaking work left incomplete, seemingly forgotten.
Why would such vital research, offering a profound understanding and potential solution to chronic stress, simply vanish? The answer, as often, lies in economics. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, the pharmaceutical industry was experiencing unprecedented growth. The market for sleep aids, anti-anxiety medications, and antidepressants was expanding rapidly, promising relief for the symptoms of a stressed society. Today, the global sleep aid market alone is projected to reach over $85 billion annually. A solution that empowered individuals to self-regulate their nervous system without ongoing pharmaceutical intervention posed a challenge to this burgeoning paradigm. Project NSR-47 offered a path to addressing the root cause, not just managing the symptoms. It implied that the body possessed an innate capacity for healing and balance, if only properly guided. Such a discovery could disrupt a lucrative industry built on the symptomatic treatment of stress-related ailments. Without direct accusation, one can infer why a systemic, non-pharmacological approach might be deemed less profitable than a lifetime of prescriptions. The files of NSR-47, therefore, were not actively destroyed, but allowed to gather dust, gradually fading into obscurity, while a different kind of solution gained dominance. The world continued to suffer, unaware of what had been discovered, and quietly set aside.
Despite its suppression, the core principles of NSR-47 were undeniably effective. The project's follow-up studies, buried deep within the declassified archives, detailed the profound impact of their protocol on subjects. After just weeks of adherence, participants demonstrated a remarkable reversal in their physiological markers of stress. Resting cortisol levels, once dangerously high, began to normalize, signaling a retreat from the body's constant alarm state. More significantly, heart rate variability scores showed a consistent and measurable increase, sometimes by as much as 30%. This indicated a revitalized vagal tone, a nervous system regaining its flexibility and resilience. Subjects reported profound improvements in sleep quality, often for the first time in years. Anxiety levels plummeted, replaced by a sense of calm and clarity. Inflammation markers, previously elevated, began to subside. These weren't mere anecdotal observations, they were quantifiable physiological shifts, documented through rigorous testing. The NSR-47 protocol wasn't just managing symptoms, it was rebuilding the foundation of health. It taught the body to self-regulate, to engage its parasympathetic response actively, moving from a state of chronic alarm to one of restorative balance. The early researchers knew they had stumbled upon something fundamental, something that offered genuine, lasting relief. The question became, if it worked so well, why was it kept from public knowledge for so long?
The NSR-47 protocol was not a miracle cure, but a precise, systematic approach to physiological re-regulation. Its core principle was the deliberate activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, primarily through stimulating the vagus nerve. The researchers designed a multifaceted method combining specific breathwork, targeted auditory frequencies, and guided visualization. The breathwork component focused on diaphragmatic, slow-paced breathing, typically around 4 to 6 breaths per minute. This rhythm is known to optimize the baroreflex, a mechanism that helps regulate blood pressure and heart rate, directly enhancing vagal activity and increasing HRV. Alongside breath, the protocol integrated specific auditory stimulation. The NSR-47 team experimented with binaural beats and specific resonant frequencies known to entrain brainwaves into states associated with relaxation and parasympathetic dominance, such as alpha and theta waves. These frequencies, delivered through headphones, created a powerful sensory experience designed to deepen the physiological shift initiated by breath. The guided visualization aspect helped calm the prefrontal cortex, reducing anticipatory stress and allowing the body to fully surrender to the re-regulation process. The genius of the NSR-47 protocol lay in its synergistic effect. Each component reinforced the others, creating a potent feedback loop that gradually retrained a nervous system. It wasn't about fighting stress, it was about teaching the body to naturally return to a state of calm. This allowed for a fundamental shift in how the body responded to daily stressors, not with an overwhelming fight-or-flight response, but with resilience and swift recovery. The data from NSR-47 demonstrated that this systematic activation of the parasympathetic system was the key to unlocking the body's innate healing capacity, offering a sustainable path away from chronic stress and its devastating effects.
The story of NSR-47 is a stark reminder. In the pursuit of health, fundamental truths can be obscured, not by malice, but by the relentless current of commercial interest. Yet knowledge, once unearthed, cannot be truly extinguished. What the NSR-47 researchers discovered in 1987, the profound capacity of the body to self-regulate and heal through precise nervous system engagement, is now, perhaps more than ever, vitally relevant. While the original Project NSR-47 was suppressed, its principles echo in modern understanding of neurophysiology. The techniques documented within its archives offer a potent alternative to the symptomatic relief often presented as the only solution. They represent a path not of external dependency, but of internal empowerment. It's about reclaiming your body's inherent capacity for balance and resilience, a capacity the NSR-47 team knew was always there, waiting to be reactivated. Understanding this foundational truth is the first step towards dismantling the grip of chronic stress and reclaiming your well-being. The full protocol, once hidden, is now within reach for those willing to seek it out.